Hi, cherished viewers and listeners all over the world. We welcome you to today's show. And you know that the phone and then say Mama Baba and Benjamin so. And then your name, Honorable Maa-Zu Muftau and Komo. He is a former parliamentary aspirant for Pru West. And he's currently the Director of Communications for the N.P.P New York chapter. In the Honorable Maa-Zu Komo about why Ghanaians should vote for the N.P.P. Honorable Maa-Zu, Mama Baba and Jimmy Pacho, Nyamia do na unso na obetimi ama ye waba custom kakra wo school ehe na etie for etimi ho.
Well, Muftau dear is a household name in my constituency and even in New York, especially the Ghanaian community. Very, very industrious in the activities of Ghana, especially within my own community, the Yankasa Association. Was a formal PRO for the Yankasa Association. Well, I started my education back in Ghana in the 1980s. Got to primary school P1 in 1980, so up to 86. So we're the first batch to start a new concept of the educational reform that was introduced in 1987, the JSS concept. So we're the first batch up to the time we wrote the basic certificate examination. Then my town is a very little community within the former Bro-Hartford region, now Gono region. So that is basically where I attended my primary school, JSS, and the secondary school. We're part of the first batch to start with the secondary school education. You know, secondary school, the new educational reform came with mirage of problems. And then if you are starting a full secondary school with people like that, we didn't have textbooks, no teachers, a lot of things. We face a lot of problems that are unimaginable. Let me give you one classical example of the problems we had. The entire school, we only had one graduate, and that graduate was even a diploma. That was the headmaster. Then somebody who was posted to come to the school to mind the office of the school ended up in the classroom teaching us history. But that notwithstanding, it could not deprive us from attaining our ultimate aim and ambition. So all what I'm trying to say, where you schooled is not necessarily or does not necessarily define where you are going to end up. With all these problems that we have encountered, will you believe that I studied up to the secondary school, completion secondary school, with lantern, not proper light like this?
Wow, that would be hard.
That is exactly what we did, and that never deprived me from becoming catchy. You understand?
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter how you start. The end is what justifies the means. So from the secondary school, when a class of, I was placed in the arts class because of strange reasons. But in fact, I thank God for even going into the arts department. Because those who were in the science class, they couldn't even pass. To the extent that none except one person, scholar Anyasa Dim, the late Anyasa Dim, we completed University of Cape Coast. I came here. He passed out around 2000 and somewhere 2008 thereabouts. Amen. He's the only person from the school who has pursued science up to the university level. You see, but I from the arts class were around 45 students. I'm the only person who survived. I'm the only person who had all his electives set. As a matter of fact, the entire school, I was the only person who had his electives, history, geography, and economics. The first to pass all the subjects. You understand? So even though we didn't pass all, we resat again, took it, and finally made it to Atiwobo Teacher Training College. So as I speak to you, I am a professionally trained teacher. I went there for 3 years, and in Atiku, that is where I started politics. Because when we got there at PS1, as a Form 1, SRC was looking for an individual who represents the PS1 at the SRC Council. Okay. And the Form 1 classes were 3, A, B, and C. So each of the class, they picked an individual to come interview him, and then they were to center on only one person. At the end of the interview, as it were, I emerged, and they put me at the SRC committee. So from there, fortunately, I became the secretary of TAG. So all the 38 government teacher training colleges in Ghana, I know all of them because there's an association called the Teacher Training Association of Ghana. I was part of them. So immediately after I completed, we were called the Millennium Teachers because I completed in 2000. Oh. So I was posted to Yendi. Fortunately, that is where my mother came from. So I taught there for 2 years, then proceeded to University of Cape Coast, where I was admitted to do Bachelor of Arts. My concentration were in geography and history, and then sociology. So I ended up majoring in geography and minoring in sociology. So from there, fortunately, the mercies of God has always been on me. That is one thing about me. Always the mercies of God is on me. If you are progressing in life, you got shenanigans who will be spelling doom for you. The only thing is that you have to be extremely prayerful. Pray. The wishes of the enemy will not manifest in you if you resort properly to prayers. So basically that is me. When I came here, I joined my community, we're doing things together. Fortunately, I found I'm somebody who has an allowed interest in politics. I identified the N.P.P New York chapter. I joined them. The first week that I joined, that was the very first week that they gave me the deputy secretary for the. Within the first week, as a matter of fact, that was even the first meeting. I got up, spoke. The people realized that this is a material, and for strange reason, the chairman called me and gave me to be deputy secretary, assistant secretary. I held the position for a while, and as a matter of fact, I ended up being the communication director of N.P.P New York. So as I speak now, I am in Pace University pursuing my master's. I'm almost done with the program, but for COVID, at least enough. But we have now moved to remote learning. Yeah. And as I told you, look at my background, the secondary school I came from, I'm not computer savvy. So the remote learning is giving me headache, even though I'm trying to cope with the situation. So as a matter of fact, I'm praying that within a short period of time, one will be able to, graduate from the master's program. My concentration is in governance and public policy. Wow. So basically, that is what I'm at Maa-Zu Muftau.
That's a great accomplishment, Honorable Maa-Zu. I'm very impressed.
Thank you so much.
It's so much experience over the years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so you're the right person for our conversation today.
Not a problem at all. Not a problem at
You're the right person.
Okay.
So the first question we want to go straight to the point is that what are the chances of the N.P.P winning the 2020 elections? Our
chance of winning is very clear. I'm not saying because I subscribe to the teachings and principles and doctrines of the party. I am saying looking at certain indicators and parameters. In the first place, from 1992 to date, we've not had a political party that, say for only one term. The people of Ghana have been very consistent in that. 1992 to 1996, they renewed the mandate of Jerry up to 2000. From 2000, J. Kufuor came. He was renewed the mandate in 2004. So from 2004 up to 2008, He's Rawley served for 8 years. Kufuor served 8 years. Atta Mills took over from 2008. Fortunately, he could not complete his first term by accident of death. May his soul rest in peace. Mahama continued. Then 2012, we went into a very crucial election. N.P.P had issues with the election, but be it as it may, at the end of the day, Mahama was pronounced as the winner. We litigated the victory of Mahama in court, and the court affirmed his candidacy as the president. We leave everything to God. 2016, we went into election, and fortunately the N.P.P was elected with a very high percentage, which is 53.7, as against 44 of the core-based support members of the NDC. So, from what I told you, I don't see the reason why the people of Ghana will give Akufo-Addo, given the mirage of achievement that we have succeeded, will give him only one term. We are not banking our hope on the fact that because they've given Rawlings 2 term, Kufuor 2 term, NDC 2 term, definitely they should renew our mandate. All right, people renew the mandate of a government which is doing very well. Hopefully, with the plethora of achievement that we have chalked, I am confident that by the will of God, N.P.P is going to win the 2020 general election.
Mr. Maa-Zu, thank you for that submission.
Thank you.
Also, looking at now that the president has informed Ghanaians that there's going to be free electricity and free water, Ghanaians are a little bit concerned that is this a political move to win the votes of the people, and then once you come back into power, then you're going to raise the price of electricity and water to make up for these times?
I don't want to truncate you, please. In the history of our country, we've not had a government that has provided free electricity, free water. Even here, in the midst of the COVID, electricity bill, you still receive your electricity bill. You still receive your water bill, right?
Yes.
These are pro-poor policies just to cushion the ordinary Ghanaians because we are not in normal terms. You don't expect a developing country like our case, even though what we are doing, other countries are not doing it in terms of the provision of free water, you said, and electricity. Other countries are not doing it. But you see, the people of Ghana, for that matter, the president, is discharging his duty with human face. Let me tell you, from this COVID started somewhere in March, right?
Yeah.
From March, when the COVID started and we embarked on the lockdown, to date, the government of Ghana has spent 1 billion Ghana cedis for these particular essential items, water and electricity. Do you think Ghana government, because of political expediency, will be spending huge sums of money just to lure people to vote for them? We have projects that we can pinpoint that will attract people to vote for us, not on these populist policies. These free electricity and free water that is in Ghana now is because of the COVID. When COVID is out, they will definitely be out. There are a lot of people who have lost their lives. People who have lost their lives. Others have lost their businesses because we are not in normal terms. Can I quickly ask you, when the government of US gave out stimulus package, the $1,200, did you receive it?
Yes.
Was it because of politics?
No. No.
So why do you have to say electricity and water is because of politics?
These are concerns from Ghanaians.
Good.
Yeah.
They are only making, and the concerns coming from Ghanaians are concerned by the opponents. These are concerns that are raised by opponents of our party. And so it means that if they were in government, they wouldn't have given this thing to the people of Ghana. In the midst of this, today you and I are here, we have received 1,200, and government is putting up a proposal for another 1,200. People have filed for unemployment. At the end of the week, we have individuals who are taking not less than $1,000. Others are taking $1,200. Have you ever witnessed this in the history of America? No. Do we say the government has given out this unemployment and the pandemic fund simply because Trump wants to win the election? No. Come on. So we should be very fair to the president. You understand what I'm telling you?
Yeah,
we are in normal times, and abnormal situation call for abnormal solutions. Which is why the government is doing that.
Okay.
But in the absence of COVID, we go back. I remember, if you had even questioned that there has been an there has been a downward reduction of electricity tariff before even the COVID started.
Yeah.
If that was even the question, the answer would have been different. But in the midst of COVID, I mean, people are not working. There's a restriction. Just recently, the 14th address of the president eased a lot of restrictions. The restrictions prevented people from going to hunt for their daily bread. And with that, and you expect them to keep on paying electricity, keep on paying water bills. Come on.
Okay.
We are governing the country with human face. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you.
Maa-Zu. The other question that is concerns of Ghanaians is the citizens of Ghana that are still in China. So we know that when this whole pandemic started, and lots of countries who had their citizens locked up in China went and took them and brought them to their countries. But in the case of Ghana, I know friends who for now still are in China. What is the government doing about them? Because they have been talking to the government to come and evacuate them. Ghanaians are really concerned. A lot of families in fear and panic because their relatives are still in China. And recently we heard about how the Chinese are treating the black people in China. So what do you have to say about that? Is the N.P.P really concerned about the citizens in China, or it's all like political, so they don't really care?
This is a multi-million question, and first of all, the decision to leave the students or Ghanaians who are in China to continue to dwell in China was the best decision.
Why would you say that?
Countries who have gone to evacuate their nationals, countries like Iran, countries like Italy, countries like Spain, they have experienced the worst death in the history of conflict. It is just unfortunate that the US has taken over. But you do remember Iran, Italy, Spain, they had a worse experience. Simply because their nationals or their indigents started calling for government to go and evacuate them. I am a Muslim, a practicing Muslim, of course. My prophet, the Prophet of Islam, has given out over 1400 century ago. Alright, has given in one of his hadith sayings that if you are in particular country and there's pandemic or epidemic erupting in that, people in that locality need not to move and go to different places, and those who are at the extreme end shouldn't come here. This is a prophetic statement long ago. We are now seeing the importance of that statement. People who left, people who left Iran went and evacuated their national capital. They experienced the worst. Now, will you be able to tell me that they have recorded one single death of a Ghanaian who is in China? The answer is no. We've not had any report of death emanating from nationals, emanating from China, As a result of keeping Ghanaians there, this number of people in Ghana have lost their lives. They are even more safer than people in Ghana. Today, as we speak, the death toll has risen up. But Ghanaians in China, we've not had one single report of their death. I am not privy to that. I don't know of you. So you see, sometimes a government needs to be very resolute. A government needs to be very firm. A government needs to be very committed to whatever he does. You should not listen to the noise of the opposition. They are doing that because of political expediency. You understand? Yeah. We aren't in normal times, but people or our opponents want to use these things to score cheap political popularity. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, thank you so much, Honorable Maa-Zu. We will go for a commercial break, and after that we will continue the conversation.
Not a problem.
C&D Cosmetics, they deal in products ranging from lip gloss, necklaces. You can follow them on Instagram. You can also reach out to Legit Intros for your YouTube intros and outros. You can also follow them on Fiverr at legit_intros for all your YouTube intros and outro needs. Also, if you need any Excel work to be done for you, you can reach out to Grace B590 at fiverr.com for all your needs. Thank you. So, Honorable Maa-Zu,
yeah,
you were talking about why it's best that Ghanaians that were left in China,
they should better stay.
Yeah. So, can you continue?
Yes, I was telling you. You see, you've not even given me the answer I expected, and the answer I expected is there hasn't been any report, which is why you've not been able to give me. People in China, Ghanaians national in China are very safe. There's no need for you to bring somebody who, no. Now, what is even the rationale of you bringing them there, bringing them back to Ghana? Because they are Ghanaian citizens. How many citizens of Ghana? New York has been hit with the worst. Our death toll is unimaginable. Within our Ghanaian community, the small community that I belong to, Yankasa community, we've lost more than 20 people. Has people made a call for Ghana government to come and evacuate us and bring us back to Ghana? Why China? Where even the disease is coming from? So please, minority, for that matter, the opposition will always find fault, even when there's no fault, to accuse government simply because they want their gullible supporters to go with that. And it isn't anything that one needs to politicize. There are issues that needs politicization, like the economy, interest rate, and stuff like that. But pandemic, come on, how many times have you seen Joe Biden addressing the people of US? He is the nominee for the Democrats. How many times have you read Biden came on national television and given his understanding about COVID? Why has the opposition leader, why does he have to do that? For your information, they have formed a parallel COVID team. Up to now, we've not even heard of them. We don't do things like this. Ghana is for you and I. When Ghana becomes better, I think we have no business staying here. They should wait. Depoliticize combat. At the appropriate time, we talk about it. So let the people of China stay there. Experience teaches us that those who even went there and evacuated their nationals have been hit the worst. So our people should better stay there, and we all put our fingers crossed and pray to our Almighty God to have mercy on all of us. Yes.
Thank you so much, Honorable Maa-Zu. Also, before NDC lost their elections to N.P.P in 2016, we all know that they had projects ongoing, medical and educational projects. But what we see continuously happening when a party takes over is that they abandon these projects that is beneficial to the ordinary Ghanaian. And what we can see with the Ayalolo buses. So my question is that, is the N.P.P going to continue abandoning the project of the previous government that was in power, or they are going to move forward with these projects if they win the 2020 elections?
Well, the N.P.P, we wouldn't even wait until we win the 2020 election. Then we continue with the, as you put it, the abandoned projects of the NDC. My sister, this has always been the bane of Ghana's politics. Honestly, I am not happy when Party A leaves office. Anything good that it initiated, then such a project is abandoned simply because it is not the person who initiated or the party who initiated that project. The project and the money that was used are money of the people of Ghana.
Yes.
No president will ever come and use his pocket money to execute a project, right? Mm-hmm. It is as a result of the little taxation and other revenue that is coming, then you invest it into project. You see, when Kwame Nkrumah, let me just take you back a little bit of history. When Nkrumah was overthrown, there are a lot of projects that were abandoned. Nkrumah was able to build more than 100 factories and cottage industries. After his overthrown, they are not more functional. Even though historians and other political pundits have myriad of reasons why such industry were cited. Other people say it was because of political expedience. But be it as it may, they were functionable industry before Nkrumah was overthrown. When the military government that toppled Nkrumah, they didn't continue it. And up to now, no constitutionally elected government has continued that project. The money were not monies of Nkrumah. Busia was the president of the Second Republic, elected between 1969 up to 1972. He initiated projects that were abandoned. The military government that came in, or that would overthrow Busia, was the Achampon government. Achampon is notoriously noted for rural development. I can recall so many ministries and departments that were built by Achampon. Very powerful industries. When I was teaching at TND, there's a very nice building that was put up after the overthrow up to now. Look at Nkrumah. He overthrew Busia before I was born. That was 1972. Up to the time I was teaching there, the building was still uncompleted. Where they left it before the government was overthrown was where I came and met it. And I believe up to now that building is not maintained. I travel extensively in Ghana, like I told you. Yeah. Go to Navrongo because there's a teacher training college there, St. John Bosco. When I was staff secretary, I traveled there. Navrongo is having a very big market. It was built by Hilal Liman. Up to now, that market is abandoned. The same Hilal Liman constructed a very big market at Tamale. It was abandoned. I can count several of the projects. So this thing is not peculiar to only N.P.P administration. All right?
Yeah.
Former President Kufuor started a very nice program that were truncated as a result of change of government. And when NDC took over by Mills, he didn't continue them. I can mention you the affordable houses. They were abandoned to rot. I speak with pain. I'm not justifying why they should do that, but I speak with pain because the money belongs to Ghanaians. I wish and believe and trust that Akufo-Addo will continue the work that John Mahama, Excellency former president, started. But indeed, some of the community-day secondary school that former President JM started, the government of the day is continuing those projects. Today, some hospitals are in continuity. They are doing that. You understand? So I'm hoping that by the time we finish, at least some of the projects that the former administration started, we're going to continue it. But my sister, one problem is that, which I think runs in the minds of all politicians, is that when I continue project A that was started by you, who is going to get the credit?
Yeah, and that's what Ghanaians are concerned
exactly.
about. That it's not supposed to be that because of credit, this party takes over and does not complete it. Because as you mentioned earlier, that it's a project for Ghanaians.
Yes.
But the ordinary Ghanaians' taxes that is being used into to make these projects.
Yes.
So, like you said, you rightly said that it's true. Like we are not supposed to.
We are not supposed to give credit to party A, party B, but that is politics. You have started constructing a hospital. At the middle of the project, your government is out of power. If I come and complete it, then come and commission it, call in people to commission it. You know what they are going to say? Oh, I'm here on a plan a starting project now. Oh, where the Mahama project. We've seen it a lot. So will you keep on completing a project when the credit will be given to somebody? I am not justifying it. Like I told you, I feel very uncomfortable. When such projects, noble projects are abandoned. But you see, it's about time. If we allow pedestrian Ghanaians, you know them? Those who are on the street, those who don't think like me and you, to keep on making their noises, and then we leave the intellectual aspect of it. If you have started a project, if even I come and complete it, we shouldn't be making politics out of that. Kufuor started this, John Mahama came and complete. Is the project of the people of Ghana, period. But when we start to point out project way, project way government project way mean Shada Emma won't complete project that you started. No. Come on. This country was not built by one government. There's a continuity, even though they have their own set of problems. But the biggest problem is that we don't have national agenda, national planning. If politicians are made to understand, you are from party A, party B, party C, we all bring our experts, policy advisors, and draw a policy for Ghana. After you draft that policy, any party that comes in, because you were there, I was there, and this party was.
Right.
So this is a blueprint for our developmental agenda. Whoever comes, we don't care whether you are implementing free education or rural electrification. At least out of the 10 agenda for Ghanaians, do 2 or 3. Yes. But because we don't have national policy and national planners, national agenda, everything is left bazaar.
So do you think that the N.P.P is going to put a committee together to plan for a national agenda? Because I know the previous party started a national agenda. So is the N.P.P going to have a committee set that would look into that?
I wish we do that. I wish we do that, because I do remember Dr. Ninoy Thompson was one of the guys who were leading the National Agenda Committee set up by the former administration. I can't tell you authoritatively where that particular agenda is heading towards. I can tell you because there was a change of government. But I wish that we are able to continue with that, because it's sickening speaking about this thing. Despite our political differences, at least there should be what I call unanimity in projects. There should be an agenda for our people, agenda for our posterity. We are here seeing all these good rules. Not that Ghana we can't do it. We can do it. But you see, the commitment is not there.
Honorable Maa-Zu, I have a question to follow up.
Okay.
Just as you mentioned about the road construction. My concern is that there's a lot of Ghanaians who always graduate from schools of engineering. We know about KUST, and most of Ghanaian road construction projects are given to foreign nationals who don't even sometimes pay taxes. Like we mostly give these contracts to the Chinese government, as we know. So do you think it's right that the government always gives these projects to foreign nationals whilst the citizens of Ghana who graduate from engineering school don't get the same opportunity. This is really a concern of Ghanaians.
I call something Chinalization of Africa. You understand? China has become a very, dominant force when it comes to African economy. So a lot of the projects, not only in Ghana, are given to foreign contractors at the detriment of our own domestic contractors. Even though there are a lot of projects that Ghana contractors are also getting, but I wish that we should even eliminate all the foreign workers who come in to bid for contracts and then give it to the Ghanaian contractors. They have the expertise to do it. They are competent in discharging that. You understand? But the fact is that projects like road or big projects like that has to go through tender bidding. And normally the highest bidder will get it. So probably that explains why there has been the whole concept of projects in Ghana, road building and stuff like that has been channelized. So we are hoping that in subsequent years to come, we will be able to, resolve that issue.
Thank you so much, Honorable Maa-Zu. Also, one focus of the opposition party, which is the NDC. I was listening to Honorable J. Opoku-Agyeman.
Yeah,
the NDC running mate. Yeah, and she mentioned a very important issue. She said that they are going to look at making sure that opportunities are merit-based. So I feel like it's going to be a strong target for them if they are going to give opportunities based on merit, not because this person is associated with this family or that. So
it's a political rhetoric. It's a political rhetoric and political gimmicks aimed at luring people to vote for the party. Let me ask you, the vice president nominee isn't a new person. She is not new to politics. It isn't that they just went out of the blue and brought her. This is a woman who has been in politics and became a minister. The N.P.P as a political party is not concerned about her educational credentials. I keep on telling people that this is not the first time a professor is running a political office in our country. Albert Abdubahine in 1992 was a professor emeritus, ran with Rawlings. Rawlings, as I speak to you now, nobody can authenticate his high school certificate, not to talk of degree. You understand? But Rawlings beat Adubahine with 58 point something percent, while Adubahine had only 30 something percent. Politics is not about its certification. Yes, the certificate will help you to be able to appreciate certain things. But what you ask me is only political rhetoric. She was the minister in charge of education. Was she able to give position based on meritocracy? We ask ourselves, how many people was she able, how many gender, or how many people, let's just put it, how many people was she able to give chance because of meritocracy? I don't think anybody is given an appointment based on any other reason rather than merit. They give you appointment based on merit. She was given appointment as Minister of Education because she was a former Vice Chancellor of a reputable institution. So she's not starting that. Minister of Finance currently, Oferata, is a guru in finance. He has been given the work because of meritocracy. The Minister for Justice is a lawyer. I mean, come on. Nobody will be given a position that he doesn't merit. That's why I told you it's a political gimmicks, rhetoric. I don't want to call it lies. I don't want to say that. but it's meant just to score cheap political points. Everybody who is given an appointment today in every part of the world is based on merit. If you are saving your political party very well, like the way I'm saving, if you are in any of the party, at the end of the day, if your party wins, and fortunately you are being able to catch the eyes of the appointment committee, they look at your certificate where you have expertise and put you there. That's it. It's based on merit.
Thank you so much, Honorable Maa-Zu.
Thank you too.
To follow up on that, we all know about the Nation Builders Corps, the NAPCO.
NAPCO, yeah.
The NAPCO that is helping people who have graduated, especially with a diploma, to get jobs, which is a very good project by the N.P.P. I must commend you for that. But my concern with that I'm getting from Ghanaian citizens is that some people that have been entered into the NAPCO are not actually doing the job. They are on the payroll, but they aren't doing it. And some people who want to get into the NAPCO are not given the opportunity. So after this commercial break, we would like to have your take on that.
Okay.
Contact C&D Cosmetics for your lip gloss and beauty products. Legit Intros is here to help you with your YouTube intros and outros. Follow them on Instagram and Fiverr. Follow Grace B590 on Fiverr for all your Excel work. Who is the Director of Communication for the N.P.P New York chapter. We are having a very interesting and amazing conversation with him. He's explaining to us why the N.P.P should be given another term in office. Honorable Maa-Zu, before the commercial break, we had a question on board that was about the NAPCO and the glitches in the system where there are ghost names on the payroll, but there are people who want to genuinely work and are not getting the opportunity.
Yeah, well, I think the NAPCO is one of the social intervention policy that N.P.P has instituted because there was a huge chunk of graduates in the system who are unemployed. And I do remember during the erstwhile administration of GM, to the extent that Ghana, for the first time, Graduate Unemployed Association of Ghana was formed. So we realized that once governance is about saving people, that this noble idea came in and we started recruiting people. As I speak to you now, more than 100,000 graduates are in the system working at different capacity. They are taking 700 Ghana, which is a peanut. As compared to 700 Ghana, we're talking about $100 and something, right? $120, $130 a month. Good. Half a low is better than none. We employ them and they are working. As to your question, some of them are not working. The abandoned pools, and that one has to do with monitoring and evaluation. The people have to try and work out and monitor those who are placed at the hospital, at the teaching field, and stuff like that. So if you are getting this reportage, I'm not disputing it. The only advice is that I will tell government to make it a concept to be monitoring them one after another. You know, the lackadaisical attitude of Ghanaians. Everything government is not giving a proper attention. Once he comes, he doesn't even teach, he doesn't even go to work, but at the end of the day, he goes to the bank, withdraw his money. That is cheating completely. You taking money for no work done. How will you even get the blessing of that amount of money? So I wouldn't dispute it. Once the report has gotten to it means that it's something which is in the system. But the bottom line is that we have provided work to the people of Ghana. We have ameliorated the unemployment situation of Ghana. And hopefully our next administration, after 2020, inshallah, when we win, we are going to expand it and then increase the number of people who will be employed in the system.
Thank you so much, Honor. So we are wrapping up our conversation today, and we got a question from a concerned citizen of our nation, Ghana, who is Atubedu. If you are watching us, Atubedu. So his concern is that he feels like the N.P.P is lying to Ghanaians. Because, it's lying to Ghanaians because they promised us so much within the span of 4 years that they were going to have one district, one factory, they were going to bring about industrialization and so many projects. But he feels that the N.P.P have not lived up to their word that they gave to Ghanaians.
What is his name?
Atubedu.
Atubedu hasn't been fair to N.P.P. Oh no, he hasn't been fair to N.P.P. What I can say to his question is that we are not lying to Ghanaians. We promised the people of Ghana to bring free education. We did. Did we do it? Yeah. Answer me?
Yes.
Yes. So how does it amount to lying? We promised that we are bringing one district, one factory. This is a political promise, and we are living up to expectation. My sister, the government of N.P.P within the pace of 4 years is able to construct. Some of the industries were in existence but they collapsed. We were able to revive them. As I speak to you, we have almost 58 industries that are either at the various stage of completion or some have even completed. You understand?
Yeah.
So wherever the questioner is, this is his answer. At least within 4 years, we've not even ended the 4 years now yet. When a member of parliament for Northern, that is Samuel Okujetu Ablakwa, was asked about the factories, this one DA, one district, one factory. He said, oh, N.P.P, like what the question said, they are only telling lies. So the interviewer, pushing further to know why are they telling lies. He said, we only constructed 9 factories. My sister, so let's go by the explanation of the Honorable Member of Parliament. Within 4 years, if a government is able to build 9 industries, multiply this, if Rollins had built 9 industries from 1992 to 1996, then 1996 you constructed another 9 industries, making it how many? 16. What is it? J. Kufo came within 8 years. He has also constructed how many? 16, right?
18. 9 and 9 is 18.
18. Now, Atta Mills and John Mahama also 8 years. Another
18.
What, do you think Ghana will be hungry?
No.
So, if a government, throughout the history of the Fourth Republic, I am going by the definition of what Ablakwa said, 9. So if a government is able to build 9 solid industries within a pace of 4 years, come on, such a government has performed. Trump in this mighty America has not been able to build even 3 factories when he came to power. I'm only going by what Ablakwa said, but the records are there for people to peruse. We built 58 at various stages of completion. So if your questioner is listening to me, we are not lying to Ghanaians. We told the people of Ghana, if you vote for us, each constituency is going to get an ambulance. Never in the history of our country. For a government that came within a pace of 3 years to give each of the constituencies that we have 275, each one of them has an ambulance. Is it not commendable? Each of the secondary schools that we have throughout Ghana is given a bus. Is it not commendable? When the NDC was in power, they went to IMF with an ugly conditionalities. What are some of the conditionalities? There was a freeze on public sector recruitment. People who graduated were not allowed to be recruited into the public sector, which is why there was what I call the Graduate Unemployed Association. You know what we came in? We revitalized the economy, took Ghana out of IMF, and there was a freeze. There was what? A free in the public sector recruitment. We were able to employ 350,000 Ghanaians. Is this a lie? Come on. There are a lot of things that we can talk about. When NDC was in power, we told the people of Ghana, when we come, we are going to reduce the interest rate. They left interest rate at 16.5. We came in and brought it at inflation rate 16.8. We came in and brought it at 9.1. The interest rate that was left by N.P.P was 61 by NDC. We brought it to 16. Lending rate was 37. We brought it to only 26. So come on, aren't we doing very well? The name of Ghana has been given a proper recognition in the eyes of the international community. Look at this pandemic when it erupted. Akufo-Addo is doing far better than what Trump is doing. Far better. Far better. We are ahead. We have been able to roll out good policies that will help the life of our people. 600 million to small scale industries to boost up the production of local, consumable goods and stuff like that. People who have lost their businesses have been given stimulus packages. So, Mr. Questioner, we have done our part. I don't want to tell you that we are a government of no mistake. That is not what I'm trying to say. We are not a government of perfect human beings. We have our own problems. I still have problems with the way some things are going. But then we are far better than the NDC. The NDC is not a viable alternative. So the best I can tell him through you is that he should continue to pray that we win the next election. We are going to normalize Ghana. Ghana is going to be another beacon of hope for Africa.
Thank you so much, Honorable Maa-Zu. We would like to bring our discussion for today to the close, and we would like to take your closing remarks.
Well, I thank you so much for giving me this invitation to articulate the stand of my party with respect to the way Ghana is going. So far, so good. It has been a very good year for us. But for the pandemic, in fact, Ghana would have been extremely good. But so far, I will use this opportunity to thank the President of the Republic for being very, very firm. Able to roll out all the policies and the program that will ameliorate the suffering of Ghanaians. I think basically that is all I can say.
Thank you so much. It's here for the Damas say, you're buying so much here, Tata, much on here with this conversation. We want to say a very big thank you, Honorable Maa-Zu, for honoring our invitation.
My pleasure.
We know you have a lot going on, but to make chance for us to talk to you, we say that thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We would like to thank our subscribers. Videos to our motion. We would appreciate your comments as always, and we would say who subscribe to this channel, do as well, and then do subscribe. Thank you to Susan, Mrs. Mercy Kunto, Mama Gloria, Son, Daisy, Baba Dokas, Baba Bedu, David, more Debia, Mutini in Yesi. Thank you so much. Yamishamu, Mrs. Nancy Ochre, Yamishamu, that's a ne, Senyamepa, Yasan Mubisha. Bye.